Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the 2-3 Zone. Tony's Picks look at the WNBA here for Thursday, July 24th. We've got three games on tap here on Thursday night, including uh, some here early starts on Thursday, or at least early evening starts. And we've got the crew here: Ron Crawford, Justin Stacks, Mcelvy. We were treated to a five-game card there on Wednesday night, guys. I want to get your takeaways on it and what you guys saw there, including victories late from the Las Vegas Aces. Looked pretty solid there in that game against Atlanta, Ron. And we saw also the big one with the Liberty and the Fever. The Liberty kind of stepped on the gas there late. The Liberty won it by more than double digits, covered the spread. The Fever were actually hanging in there for a while. Any other takeaways, Ron, from Wednesday night, from Tuesday night's action?
No, like I say, hit my best bet with the aces in that one. I was going to, because that thing went way over, what, 182, I think it was. Winning by 14, we got to look at, and Jones really, I mean, she was in there, but, was she really, she's just coming back, obviously. But yeah, we got to look at, and we're going to be looking at the aces again tonight. We got to look at the aces because I said it before the All-Star break. I said Hammond will get these girls ready, and they're going to come out blazing in the second half, and we saw that last night.
Justin, we saw some other games as well. We saw Minnesota put a stomping on the Sky, and also we saw Dallas with an upset win on the road there against Seattle. Another clunker by the Storm, and also the Sparks won on the road. What do you think about Tuesday night?
I thought Tuesday night was wild. I didn't pick too many winners. I actually did better on the 2-3 zone than I did on premium, so I couldn't wait to get to this card. So I'm ready for it, and I agree with Ron. Like, better start paying attention to the aces now. Like he said it before the All Star break, and doesn't seem like they're going to let down. It seems like it's going to be all gas, no breaks. But it's a little early now. It's only been a couple of games, before the All Star break, and then yesterday was impressive. I was on the wrong side of that, so I'm start paying attention to the aces and aces right now. Like now's the time. I don't think they're going to win a chip, but expect them, to make some noise.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we were worried about them just making the postseason. Now they're all of a sudden trying to sneak up on here in Seattle and Atlanta. Maybe they can even get into the top four, which is key in the postseason. Okay, let's take a look at these three games here on Thursday night, and I'll roll it here with the Los Angeles Sparks. Are on the road here, Justin. They're at Connecticut, favored by 5.5 or so, and the total 166.5. Good news for the Sun. Looks like Marina Mabry's finally going to make her way back into this lineup. I mean, we know Connecticut can use all the help that they can get, but that does sound like a pretty big boost to a team that has just three wins in 22 games this season. I mentioned the Sparks with a road win there. They did a great job against Washington, Justin. They were down big time in the first quarter, and they came back and actually, if you consider the final score, they swamped the Mystics over the final three quarters here. So, what do you see here with the Sparks taking on the Sun in Connecticut?
Yeah, the Sparks yesterday, they shocked me. I didn't think they could do it again. Just beat the Mystics right before the All Star break. Then they turned around right after the All Star break. It was a home and a home. And like you said, they started off getting crushed the first half or the first quarter, and then they turned around and beat the Mystics again. I'm not a believer of the Sparks team. I think that's too many points. I'll wait and see, but I'm gonna be on Connecticut. I'll be on Connecticut Sun plus the points.
Yeah, for sure. Here.
Sprinkle. Go ahead, sprinkle the money line. But that's where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna wait for the line. Regardless, I don't care what happens about anything. I know Brink's on her way. I ain't seen no Brink news, but I don't care. If she come back, I'll definitely be on the Sun money line. But fade the star player back. I don't think she's coming back though tomorrow, which is today now when you see us. But give me the Connecticut Sun plus whatever you can get.
Yeah, we are awaiting the return, but I don't know if we've really seen a true confirmation. It does feel like it's being pushed back here, possibly Brink's return. We know she has been participating for sure in workouts and shoot arounds as well, but Justin says take Connecticut there plus the points. Ron, the Sparks do come in with a 3-game winning streak, so hats off to them right now. Connecticut's lost 3 in a row once again, so not to downplay what Justin's saying. That's just the facts coming in here. But I will note the Sparks 4-7 ATS, Ron, as a favorite, but 8-4 ATS on the road. So help me out here, Ron.
Now I'm going to stay away from the side. I'm going to keep with what has been working, man. I told him about Tina Charles, man. 21, 21-11 last game. She's got to get 21.5 total points and rebounds once again. She's averaging 27. I'm going to take her once again. Give me Tina Charles over 21.5 points, rebounds.
On her point PR or point?
PR, yep.
I should know better than that. I shouldn't have to ask there at 21.5. But let me make sure there with Ron, with the grand lady. I'll say it every time. She just is outstanding every time, really. And also, we'll see. I mean, that's going to be big time if Mabry is back to, maybe free it up a little bit too for Tina Charles. So for me, guys, I'm going under here. I can't rattle off a bunch of trends here for you in stating this, especially right now, because every LA game is going over. But to me, at 166.5 here, I think we're getting a little bit asking a little bit too much. We know that Connecticut has definitely had some unders here. They just went under in that game that they lost to Indiana at home, 85-77. That was under this number. They went under a low number. Remember in that game at Seattle when they played the one game in Seattle and one game in Connecticut. The game in Seattle a game in Connecticut here actually went under, but then they went to Seattle and went under 157 when they only scored 65 points. So I'm not going to say that the tempo changes because you do have two subpar teams here, but at 166.5, I'm going under with LA and Connecticut. Justin says take the Connecticut Sun here, maybe even to get that 4th victory of the season. I imagine with Mabry back, they'll pick up a few wins along the way here, sprinkle that money line. And Ron says take Tina Charles over 21.5 points and rebounds in the game on Thursday. All right, we're here now talking about a very important game, it feels like. The Las Vegas Aces are on the road here, taking on the Indiana Fever. And still, we're going to probably be without Caitlin Clark, it feels like here right now. Ron, you've also cited the line move here a little bit as kind of the tip, it feels like here for sure. All right, the Aces here open maybe as low as 1.5. Now we're seeing them all the way up to 3 or 3.5 here on the road. That does feel like Clark will miss yet another game. Now the key here, though, Ron, is Vegas 12-11. They've started to move up. As I said, they're actually now here, I believe, in 6th place overall. So they're starting to pressure teams like Atlanta and Seattle ahead of them. And if you look at it on paper, they certainly can match up with those teams. And maybe they are still a little bit better. They've taken all season to figure it out. It finally looked like they really were clicking there against Atlanta on Tuesday. Indiana comes in 12-12. They're in 7th. So they need to win games like this at home that are kind of closely rated. They're really only a half a game ahead of the Mystics. They're for 8th place, and the Valkyries are still hanging in there in 9th. So what do you think here, Ron? Aces won 3 straight, and Indiana with a pair of losses in a row.
Yeah, I think Indiana's on the downhill there. Becky Hammond's going to get them ready. They got blown out July 3rd, 81-54 at Bainbridge. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a nice revenge spot. I think the line's telling you everything you need to know that Caitlin's not.
Oh, we just lost Ron's sound there a little bit, Ron.
Minus 133. We'll take them.
Ron, can you just we just missed your sound. Could you repeat the last probably 2 sentences there about your handicap?
Yeah, we looked at the last game that they played July 3rd. Indiana took them behind the woodshed, 81-54. Becky Hammond's got a nice revenge spot here with them coming in again. And like I said, when I capped it, I thought Indiana might be the favorite. That's telling me Caitlin is not going to play. So we're going to take the Aces, and I'm going to lay the money line minus 133.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. May have been my audio. Hope we didn't bother anybody there with repeating it, but I hear now Ron loud and clear with the Aces in this one, laying the points on the road. Justin, they're not a great favorite. We know that, but again, they were favored by so many games early, and we're not playing very well. They're 7-10 against the spread as a favorite, but they sure did look good against Atlanta here. Maybe they're starting to gel a little bit more. I don't want to say it's taken half of a season to figure out what to do with this lineup, but that was a good performance finally for the Aces here. But they're still going to be favored on the road. I kept saying Indiana plays pretty well without Clark, but they were really no match for the Liberty in the second half. The Liberty really took over in that game on Tuesday night and pulled away for sure to cover double digits.
Yeah, I'm glad Ron mentioned it because this is definitely a revenge game. And then you add in the fact that these are two teams going in opposite directions lately. Ever since Clark went down, the Fever going in one direction. I feel like the Aces is turning up now. You mentioned about the Aces, like all of a sudden, like they get it now. So in the revenge game, I'm gonna go with the star player who's been balling. I don't have her numbers as of late, but Asia Wilson lately has been a cash cow. I'm going back to her. I'm probably sure it's going to open up at 23.5. The books ain't catching up to her. So give me Asia Wilson over her points total. I'm guessing around 23.5. I endorse 24.5.
Yeah, for sure, Justin. Wilson was looking strong there again. It felt like in that last game as well there and against Atlanta. So does feel like the Aces. I mean, we keep saying, and yet they still keep slipping up a little bit. She had 24 in the game against Atlanta on Tuesday night. Of course, she had the monster game against Dallas going for 37 points and 34 against the Valkyries. Those are her three scoring outputs there since she missed that game against Washington. So she's on fire for sure. Justin saying go over with Asia Wilson. And for me, I'm going to go over in this one at 163.5 here. This one has ticked up just a tad, it feels like, from the opener of maybe 162.5 or so. I know Las Vegas has been an under team on the road, but that's because I think they have underachieved massively offensively here. And we know Indiana can play some overs here of late. They've had a couple of overs here back to back against the Liberty, which I would consider, an elite team, that probably where the Aces should be, but I just kind of equate them to what we've seen. So I think against good teams, that maybe is where Indiana doesn't play as well a defense. We made fun a little bit of Clark and when she's in there, but I'm going to go over here 163.5 in this one with the Aces and the Fever. Ron says go ahead and lay it on the road 3.5 with the Aces. Justin says Asia Wilson over 23.5 points for Las Vegas. Important game.
I did see Justin 26.5 points and assists at FanDuel minus 108. If you want that,
that would make sense too.
And
there.
assists.
And at points and assists 26.5. Yep.
What's her points and rebounds if you got it?
I didn't see that one. I saw points and assists.
Okay. Well, we could stick it there. It does seem like
I'll stick with the points, but if I can find points in the rebounds, I'll look at it, and in the morning I'll put it in the comments at best number. But 100% I'll be on the points.
Yeah, Wilson did have 5 assists in that game against Atlanta. I mean, that was I think one of her best games here, probably in about 7 or 8 games, assist-wise, in that game. So she was contributing.
She's trying to do everything right now.
Well, they got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Ramon, I'm laying 133 with the Aces money line. That's my
you're going money line on that. Thank you, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aces on the road minus $1.33. Okay, and I'm going over. Justin has that points prop with Wilson. Make sure you keep your eye out on that one. Okay, let's go to one more game here with the Seattle Storm. Believe it or not, guys, the Storm is the Storm are 14-10 still, despite, I don't know, seems like when I watch them, they lose. I watch every game, so I don't know how I feel that way, but I think it's more so, Ron, and just the disappointment in this team coming through as a favorite. And they're going to be favored again here against Chicago on the road by 6. The total 160.5. Now we know maybe a mismatch here on paper with Seattle coming in at 14-10, Chicago just 7-16. Chicago, they were looking pretty good, but now they've lost 3 in a row again all of a sudden. And Ariel Atkins has been out. I think she's missed all 3 of those games. I think that's where one of the problems has allied here. Actually, she missed 2. She left the Minnesota game, right? That's when she originally was injured. So basically 2.5 games she's missed, and that's been hurting Chicago. So Ron, the Storm here, favored by 6. They're 6-11 against the spread as a favorite, but 7-4 against the spread on the road. The total here 160.5. Ron.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just missing your sound again. Sounds like the plug is coming in and out.
Okay. How
Go
about
ahead.
now?
Yep, we got you. Great.
Okay. You just took my notes there. 7-3 their last 10 on the road for the Storm. I can't trust the Sky without Atkins. There's just no scoring on that bunch. We saw it last night. Minnesota, they get only 63 points or something. They're not even getting into the 70s without Ariel Atkins. So I would have to lay it with Dallas. It's not going to be a premium, but I think Dallas is the play in this
With
one.
Seattle. Yep.
Seattle.
What you meant.
Yep.
With the Storm on the road here, -6 against the struggling Sky. It's going to take a lot for the Sky to entertain any playoff aspirations right now. There's really, 3 teams, it feels like, Justin, that's kind of out of contention. I'm going to put LA right now kind of in contention in 10th place because of their impressive road win, and they are just 2 games back of the playoff picture. But it does feel like from there you got the Sky, the Wings, and the Sun. They're not going to be qualifying. I don't see any reason why these teams would jump up and start winning some games enough to catch those teams anyway. So, Justin, what do you see here with Chicago and the Sky? Seattle and the Sky. I'm doing it.
I look at it like it's 2 teams going. Like, I can't put no faith in neither one of these teams. We just watched Seattle at home lay an egg to Dallas. So you call it whether Skylar was out. I don't know if she's going to be in or out this game or not. I feel like it was a late scratch yesterday. But if she's not in, I'm going back to the – I'll try the Sky. But like Ron said, it's not going to be no premium. With or without Skylar for Seattle, I just feel like off of embarrassing loss after embarrassing loss, like Sky just keep getting drilled like night after night. So I'll look at Angel Reese rebounds and I'll look at the Sky points.
Okay, going to look at Angel Reese there and her rebounds prop and the Sky plus those points. I don't know if the necessarily look, I think the Sky here can be competitive in this game, but I just cite the inconsistency of Seattle that makes it really tough for me to kind of, pinpoint one way or the other which way they're going to go. Like I said, they cover numbers on the road, but they don't cover as a favorite. So what's it going to be? I'm going to go with the total, guys. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go under here. I'm going to go all totals on the show today. I'm going to go under here with Seattle and Chicago. Seattle is 7-10 to the under as an underdog. I've kind of been talking for a few weeks. If you have noticed that I've kind of been saying, hey, Chicago's scoring has stepped up here, but all of a sudden it seems like we've hit the skids with Chicago, and ironically, was with the games that Atkins has missed here over the last couple of nights, and Chicago has laid a couple of eggs for sure. They only had 49 points, remember, against Atlanta at home in that game and lost by 39 points. So there is concern for me there. I'm going to go under 160.5 with Chicago and Seattle here. The guys are kind of on opposite sides a little bit. Got Ron laying the 6. Justin says he'll lean, I think, there. I think he's more interested in those rebounds, right, Justin? There on Thursday
I'm definitely
night.
more. I'm definitely more interested in Reese. I'm gonna watch the line and see where it goes, but I can't lay points with the Storm, but I don't feel comfortable taking them with the Sky either. So, but if I had to give you a side, I would have to lean towards the Sky.
Okay. Yep, no problem there. And he'll look to Reese and those me bounds that she likes to get and see if she can rack it up. A great stat there, right? Even though Chicago's played just 23 games, she had a streak of 10 games already with a double double. And well, she didn't have a double double there for a game. And then she rolled off 10 more double doubles. The first, I think it was the first player in league history with 2 10-game double double streaks. So, like I have been saying a little bit, and I think maybe the general crowd kind of is behind a little bit. Reese has been playing at a top level here, at an all-star level. It feels like the last couple of weeks for sure. All right, the guys are split there. I'm on the under. Justin says look for Reese's me bounds on Thursday night. All right, that's going to do it for our 3 games here on the 2-3 zone. Want to thank the guys, Ron Crawford, Justin Stacks McKelvey, for joining me for this breakdown. Justin, we got the 3 games tomorrow, and I don't know, I want to say the WNBA is taking center stage, but with just 5 games in Major League Baseball, we're going to be looking forward to some WNBA action on Thursday night and Friday night and all weekend, quite frankly. What's going over at Tony'sPicks.com?
Same as usual. Always gonna have Major League Baseball package, best bets, triple stacks. Definitely gonna have a premium. I'm gonna have best bet in WNBA that I ain't give out for tomorrow. Which speaking of today, once y'all see this, so I love that the NBA is gonna be front court. Only 5 games on Thursday for baseball. Let's focus on the W. Like it gives me all my attention. Looking for a bounce back, so I'm all for it.
And some teams playing some important games. Ron, what's going on here Thursday, Friday, and over the weekend at Tony's Picks?
Oh yeah, of course, baseball is just rolling right now, and best bets are rolling. 13-5 now run best bets WNBA, and I'll have one tonight. I don't know if I have one tomorrow, but we'll see what's going on with that. Really don't like that card that we just went over, but we'll see. You never know what happened. There's also a CFL going on in Canada that I cap as well. So yeah, big weekend of all sports there coming.
Hey, well, you don't worry, Ron. I'm going to bring a preseason football game for you in a week, and then we'll have NFL coming, preseason college football. I'm tired of talking about how we're waiting for it, and finally it's arrived here just a week or 2 away from at least talking a little football. I don't mind if it's a little preseason. That means we're right around the corner from sports betting season. So make sure you join us over here at Tony'sPicks.com with our premium picks. I'm loaded up over there as well for the action on Thursday and Friday. Check out my premium picks in the WNBA and other sports. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off the premium pick packages from me, from the guys, and all of the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, that's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow. 3 more games for a Friday night. Join us here on the 2-3 zone. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this program and this channel. All right. For Ron Crawford, Justin Stacks McKelvey, I'm Ramon Scott. Thanks for joining us on the 2-3 zone. We'll catch you next time.
Good luck, everybody.